Damn, cuz. This is Maldi back again with my podcast number 3. Told you I'm working on my new stuff nowadays. So this is podcast number 3. To all my critics and viewers, that's what we want to call them. So to all the critics and viewers out there nowadays, so podcast number 3 is ready. You know what I'm saying? I call this guy the author of my movie. Yeah, I know I was talking in podcast too. I just had an imagery. I was mentioning I was imagery of what I was thinking. Asking people, I talk to people. Like my work is about, like calligraphy. I do extreme work. I was gonna start talking to people. Cut this. Yeah, I was gonna start talking to people about profit versus revenues. Let me get that one more time. I'm gonna talk to my peoples about profit versus revenues. So nowadays, y'all really gotta understand what like profit and revenues is to me. I told you in my form of strategically thinking, you know what I'm saying, I had to get in metal fully armored jacket shit. So sometimes, man, I'm sorry about my appearance. Shit, I just feel like I'm in my coats of arms. I'm just in the coats of arms and things like that. But that's just another topic, though. But I'm gonna stick with what I said I was gonna talk about in Cast 3. Cast 3 is gonna be about profits versus revenue. I'm not talking about prophet, Isaiah, no prophet, Jeremiah. I ain't talking about none of them. I'm not talking about Prophet Muhammad either. You know, you know what I'm saying, as this segment, you know, I might say, thanks be to God. All praises to Allah. Allah to me is one who stand alone. You know what I'm saying? Allah means alone. You know what I mean? So, but I'm gonna stick with profit versus revenue. You know, that's a financial terminologies that we use. You know, in certain worlds, and like I said, you know, certain societies. I was in a society that wasn't accepted. Some societies don't accept other societies. You know, racial dependency bears with these societies. So you get a lot of racial topics nowadays. So nowadays, as being an internet critic, internet critics really don't have a full view of what is going on, or full understanding of what's going on with certain things in their societies, you know. So societies profit from this. So as you understanding what I'm trying to tell you about profit, societies and people, corporations, governments are, you know, Indian cultures or Indian heritage, you know, they profit off these things like this. So some of the great prophets were mathematicians. So you got people that's into mathematicians sometimes. So you get these mathematician people sometimes really thinking about, like, okay, I could get deep into numbers, but why can't I get in depth with the people with information? You see what I'm saying? So understand, you can get in depth with numbers, or you can get in depth with information. You know what I'm saying? So I'd rather get in depth with numbers and vice versa, being in depth with information, because the information you know what I'm saying, can be miswritten and misjudged. Numbers sometimes don't lie. You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand where the profit starts at. But like I said, I was gonna cover my profit loss statements and what profit versus revenue really is. You know what I mean? Like I told you once before. You know what I mean? Like I know people heard of Wells Fargo. Shoot, so some of them people out there get paid with these Wells Fargo stuff. So, shh, hey, I thumbs up to Wells Fargo. You know what I mean? So I ain't using this for no publicity stunt, but like I say, some cultures and some societies and some people, you know what I'm saying, wasn't accepted into this type of world. You know what I mean? So it probably, you know, in certain words, it was consequences dealing with stuff like this, like, you know, interest bearing. So a lot of people have conflicts with interest bearing type ordeals and situations. I'll let you know what an interest bearing is before this segment of this cast 3 is over with as well. You know, so revenue versus profit. You feel me? I'm gonna start with it consists of our income, like I was telling you once before, in certain aspects. You know what I'm saying? My income, once upon a time, when I first started this 15 years ago, I could say my income was at no more than $15,000 a year. But what was I actually doing with this $15,000 a year? You know what I'm saying? So basically, my ideas is what, okay, I get $15,000 a year. So what am I gonna do with it? I'm not profiting from this. What do I got to profit from $15,000 a year? You know what I mean? I know $15,000 a year must contribute to, like, you know what I'm saying, the welfare or the warfare of my kids. You know what I'm saying, to where my kids got a government agency check called welfare supplements. So you know what I mean. So I compensate their systems with welfare supplements as well. You know what I mean. So whatever I get to with profit and how profit work with welfare systems, it works with welfare systems good when you taking it out of your United States Treasury accounts. So I had to realize, what did America have to offer me at that point of life as I was doing what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? As I said once before, I wasn't waiting for America to give me something. I'm trying to figure out, what can I give America, or what can I add to America. So I could add a lot to America. You know what I mean? Starting with my income. My income paid for 4 children. You know, I have 4 children, 4 sons. You know, 4 sons. They into military. You know what I'm saying? They into militant or ordeals. I have a son in black college. You know, he's in a predominantly all black college. So I try to teach him at that point to understand what a black heritage, our black scholarship have to offer you. So take advantages of Black Heritage Awards, scholarships, or whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying? But as me being a native, I've really never experienced what a black person was offered. So I always had a native tradition to where I seen what my natives offered me. You know what I'm saying? But vice versa to what a black person could offer me, or what biracial person or white person or whatever, Asian, Chinese, whatever, Christian, whatever, prophet. You see what I'm saying? Whatever y'all had to offer me, I had to understand what the value of it was. So understand this. Nowadays, I know what an interest ordeal is. Interest bearing, interest ordeals, some interest accounts. So I understand I wanted to make money by creating a dividends, a fund account. So I understand what a fund account is. I'm funding these accounts to where it might be something here, a little bit of there, but it is gonna generate a profit. You know what I'm saying? One day, or if not, is balancing the rest of the income accounts that I have. So the first step of what I noticed how to profit from. So I actually took $1, seeing what I would make off of $1. Noticed that this $1 that I had actually bought 15 cents. And 2 weeks later, oh damn, I got $1 bringing 15 cents 2 weeks later. So the next person was like, man, bro, how long would it take you a year to get you such and such money? It ain't about what I can get in a year to get this such and such money. What in that process for me to get that profit of 25 cents? That 25 cents now became my income. For the future reference, don't forget you got to pay taxes on your income. As me being the great prophet that I am, I'd rather pay that tax on 25 cents at that moment. I know I profited from it. So if I knew that I profited from it at that moment, a 25% jump in my gains, I'm going to take it. You know what I mean? That's just as, like I've been telling these people, it can be a new form of panhandling. But that new form of panhandling, people wouldn't understand. You know what I mean? So I took that old thinking of a panhandler and what a panhandler may do. See what I mean? Panhandler will sit up and beg, but at the same time, they constantly receiving account receivables. All account receivables in my strategic thinking once before, as I mentioned in Cash 1 and Cash 2, that's income. So now I've noticed these people is gonna keep on giving me that, giving me him this, giving that person this. Now that person done perceived in his head, I can receive this whenever I want to, not knowing that was that profit stuff. Why do he receive that as that? He's not really preaching to really receive that profit under his prophecies. But as you understood, certain people was punished and crucified for that prophecy of that 25 cents. So that 25 cents cost people's lives once upon a time. But nowadays, people taking it in vain, as I might call it, to where you see that someone is offering you their last or their whatever they have, and you just receive and receive. When are you gonna ever be able to give back? If you're not giving back, it got to be a profit somewhere in between. So in between of it being a profit, you got to understand where would that profit lie in between that. The profit that I told him that I was going to think about, right? I went through a whole segment and thinking of his prophecy stuff, but my prophecy was always told certain people have that touch or that element of that mystical thinking of an element. It's an element of mystical thinking. You know what I mean? To actually knowing that you have a profit. Some people not really know that they have profits. When they're going to actually give a person their profit. You see what I'm saying? So I and generated and coordinated in my ways of how to receive a profit. So I opened accounts as fund receivables, as I'm gonna receive this fund sooner or later. So as me trying to coach a person what they might profit from. So every dollar that I have and every thing I receive after that dollar is a profit until I spend it again. But in my case, I don't spend whatever's after my dollars. It could be a few cents, a lot of cents, but I still won't spend it. I use it as a reinvestment tool to know that I can buy more of what I just bought and have more profits at the end. So that 150 cent will probably be 250 cents, which is $1 in the next month. Now you see what I'm saying? So it really not much, but you got to understand what a profit is. So if I have 100 of those accounts, vice versa, I got $1 in each one of them. And just what if each one of them 100 accounts that I have, all of them turn over 50 cents now? Now you got a lot of 50 cents to add up, and not before long, I'm going to spend it back and buy more of those 50 cents accounts now, instead of vice versa. I'm going to take the 50 cent, go buy some toilet paper with vice versa, $1 roll of toilet paper, like I was saying. You know what I mean? So I understood what that profit versus revenue may be. And that's what I want to discuss in this cast 3 of what profit versus revenue could be. And this is sometimes is the fundamental and basis of a business is the income state. So when you get the fundamental basis of income state, you got to understand what is bringing my income. Begging people for money is income. Shit, that's why sometimes I think twice about who's the beggar. You know what I mean? So the beggar is the one that's receiving a lot of income. You know what I'm saying? You just got to a point like, I just can't keep on dealing with this. One day you're going to have to cut them off or just keep giving them more. You know what I'm saying? But it's feed my addiction to keep giving them more. So I learned that profit stage is feed my addiction of prophecies. That's why I don't really want to, I don't care about too much information. You know what I mean? So information, vice versa. My mathematicals and mathematician stuff is quite different. So I'm strategically thinking again. You know what I'm saying? Then at the same time, you gotta know what the gross is of your profits. Some people are pay taxes after their gross. You know what I'm saying? So vice versa, you gotta know when you gotta pay your tax. That's why I say I gotta hurry up and quickly pay tax on that quarter. Because if I know I pay tax on that quarter, I know I'll never forget a tax period. You know what I mean? So as me paying tax on the quarters, I know I'll never forget a tax period. At the same time, knowing what your investments might bring in a return, it might bring in more return so you can pay out more taxes. You know what I'm saying? So, but at least you'll be covered in the long run. And you know what I'm saying? And won't have to worry about, you know what I'm saying, people calling you, asking you where your money is or that, you know what I'm saying? But you know your credit is already paying its taxes for whatever it's being itemized or credit standardized or whatever you might want to call it. You know what I mean? Then I got to my last stage of my life. Shit, one time I got to talk about these people in these societies nowadays. We living off the land. Don't know what the lands really have to offer us. You know what I'm saying? This land is offers opportunities to me, but sometimes this land may offer this person that next door this brand new house too. So you gotta know what the land offered me. You know what I'm saying? My land offered me a whole lot of tendency to where it's feudal. So you got a lot of feudal tendencies where I'm from, you know what I'm saying? And that's what the land calls. Where I'm from is caused a lot of feudal tendencies. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm not really a hair of this land, but as me born and raised on these people's land, they use me as like as a palm. Sometimes people are palm move and understand what's a palm move in people. So you can move this people there, or you can make that type of people move somewhere else. You see what I'm saying? So now you got to know when to use your investments. You see what I'm saying? I have few investments and I invest in retirement accounts. And if you understand that most investment accounts is you really may lose money, but at the same time it's really to prepare you to not be able to spend a lot of money and know how to rebalance itself from a lot of money. You know what I mean? So it's a lot that we're dealing with in these days and times. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just passing on a lot of interest to people, interest debt to people, and our panhandling money to people. I ain't got time to keep giving this panhandler this and that panhandler that. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of panhandlers just like shit, keep on asking for panhandling shit all goddamn day. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta understand what these panhandlers keep on asking and shit all the time. Yeah, shout out to You know what I'm saying? Prince Hall Nation, man. You feel me? Prince Hall Nation. Prince Hall affiliates, man. You know what I mean? That's what that is. So, shout out to my people for keeping me well informed on certain aspects. Heard of Chicago. You know what I mean? I'm not no Chicago native, but that little Egyptian hoods, man. I can imagine what y'all little Egyptian hoods going through down there in Chicago, man. You know what I mean? So, much love and hope for better protection of y'all Egyptian neighborhoods with y'all brothers, y'all sisters, y'all women. You know what I'm saying? As me raising, coming up as a household where a woman voice was opinion all the time. And, so I still have lots of respect for our women nowadays. So nowadays, some women is not on that standpoint. They itemize and victimize these women nowadays. So, so nowadays women is very degraded, you know what I mean? So their choices of life may be degrading. So you really got to understand how many women out here is that the type of degrading person. So you have a lot of degrading stuff out here at the same time. But at the same time, I learned a lot through a woman, you know, never seen how degraded it could be, but at the same time, I still was raised in a well-mannered household. You know what I mean? To where I chose my society over my household, and the society is the public. You see what I'm saying? So the public is just generally what is just have to be out there to offer. There's no claim to the public. You know what I'm saying? It's the government that's claiming what's is between building and spaces. So what's lies between building and spaces is actually being controlled. So if you're not in a building or if you're just in an open space, your open space is really being controlled. You know what I mean? If you're not in between spaces or buildings. So you got to understand what public spacing and stuff is. You know what I mean? But like I said, I was going to cover a few things in this podcast 3. You know, I'm going on to my next details of pod 4. Pod 4 is going to be that point I was telling you about those account receivables that comes with being prophets. You know what I'm saying? So, like I told you once before, man, I seen people out here panhandling, and panhandling was at its all-time worst once upon a time. You know what I mean? So, I seen panhandling at its all-time worst to where, shit, I'm not ready to do that, to where I don't want to ask nobody, no Negro, no white person, no colored person, or whatever person it is out here to get money or whatever to give. I don't want to be out here asking this person or that person for this. Shit, it's just it is what it is. So I came up with my new solution for panhandling. You know what I mean? Interest burn. So interest burn is another form of panhandling, and I'm gonna show you what a account receivables is in a cash for. This is Jamal Lydian, and I'm out.